YouTube, Neosolid22 back again. I know you probably just watched a video I uploaded like 10 seconds ago, but this is my pickups video for this week, or this time I guess. So I thought I'd show off. I actually ended up with quite a bit of stuff. I keep saying I'm not going to find stuff, and I actually keep finding stuff, so, you know, bonus. But I got some stuff from Game Trader too. I got a flea market find, shockingly. Goodwill finds again. I don't know what's going on, but I got some Goodwill finds. They're not that great this time, but they're decent. And I bought a game off eBay. I got some off a Facebook trade, or not a trade, Facebook buy-sell trade group. And then I went to a local toy show called the Toy Man Toy Show, which is pretty great. Actually, I saw the guy from the Travel Channel show, Toy Hunter. He was there. Jordan, I think, is his name. So that was pretty cool. I kind of walked by his booth, said hello. But anyway, let's go to the stuff I got at the Toy Man Toy Show. Just a couple things there. I got Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves for the NES. As you can see, it's got a beautiful Blockbuster sticker right there on the label. This was I gave $5 for this, which is probably about right. As you can see, there's some damage on the back too from the Blockbuster label, but didn't have this in the collection. I've been seeing if I could, I just showed you the next thing, didn't I? Been seeing if I could peel this off. I've been working on it. It looks like it's going to peel off and not damage the label, so hopefully I'll get to working on that, get that off there. Then, from a guy who's actually in the St. Louis Retro Gamers group, Dustin Ayers. He runs a little website called Nerds at Night, and he had posted this game for a while on the page saying he had it for sale, and I thought it was a pretty good price. So I saw him there at the Toy Man Toy Show. He had a booth, and I was like, hey, you know, what's up? This is it's the first time I actually met him in person. And I saw this game sitting there, and I'm always interested in these games. This is a Color Dreams game, which you don't see that often. And this is boxed. It's Captain Comic. So that's pretty excellent. The box is in great shape, actually. He was asking $15 on it, and this is actually one of the best looking Color Dream games I've ever seen. No yellowing. Beautiful shape. Fantastic shape. He was asking $15 on it. I talked him. Well, I didn't talk him. I just offered it. I offered him. As you can see, Color Dreams had the coolest little slip covers. I offered him $13. He said he'd do it, so I picked it up. It was pretty cool. And it actually has the instruction manual, which is this is in ridiculous shape. This is probably will take the mantle for best looking box game I have in my collection. It's pretty close to being the best, if not the best box game. So really happy to have it. Didn't have it in the collection, so you'll see at the bottom. I think for some reason my collection count got off at some point, so I got to figure it out where it got off. But I'm still in the 530s. I know that. I believe I'm in the 530s. I don't know. I may be saying that completely wrong, but I think I'm one off. I'm telling you, I have one more game than I have, but nonetheless, my collection's getting towards the mid 500s. As you know, I'm going for 600 this year, so here's to hoping I can get to 600. Alright, here's my Goodwill stuff. I just happened to go in Goodwill, and I looked in their case the other day. I guess this was like last Wednesday. So almost about 6 days, five days ago, because today's Monday. So I looked in their case and I saw some Genesis games. I was like, oh, cool, somebody traded in some Genesis. And of course they had the system there with no controllers, no wires for $50. I was like, well, this isn't starting well. That's a horrible price for a Genesis, even if it had all the two controllers and wires and everything. So then I look over and they had Tailspin, which was $9, which is about retail. So I'm not going to grab that. I passed on it. So me and my son were walking around there. I go to the electronics section looking around. And as I'm getting ready to leave, I start walking down one of the little aisles where they just throw stuff. And I see 4 box Genesis games. And I was like, well darn. Okay. So I pick them up. And they're not great titles. They're decent. One of them I already have, but it's a different version from what I have. And so I grabbed them. They were $3 a piece, and then I actually went back on Saturday, and I saw one more there that I grabbed. So these are the ones I got on the first trip. Pebble Beach Golf Links. That is complete. Box is in decent shape. It's a cardboard box, though, which you don't see that often on Genesis. And most of the time, if you do see them, they're in much worse shape than this. So that's complete. Cart, box, manual. Then this one I actually already had. It's Clue. It's in pretty darn rough shape. And I'm not even sure if that's the right insert for it, because I don't think it would have been red. But the manual's in here as well. So I already had it, like I said, but I have it in the clamshell packaging. So now I have the cardboard packaging. And this is a game that you see everywhere. Zoop. It's got to be one of the most common games ever, but amazingly I didn't have it. I don't have it on Super Nintendo, I don't believe. I didn't have it on Genesis, but now I do, and this is again the cardboard box. And then this one was the coolest one, I think, because I was a big fan of, in particular, Looney Tunes and the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote in particular, one of my favorites when I was a kid. So I was happy to see this one. None of these are worth that much, but I think this one's really cool. And from the looks of it, the gameplay actually looks pretty decent and very good graphics and things. So that is Desert Demolition starring Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. So $3 for that one as well. So I got that one. And then the other one where I went back, and I actually think I did pass on this one the first time because I was like, it's Jeopardy. But $3, I figure, you know, why not? It is complete. All these are in good shape. So I figure expand the Genesis collection a little bit. I haven't been buying for Genesis in a while, so I went ahead and bought some. Alright, so next I got on eBay, and I had watched GameSex episode where they did some shmups, which, let's see, Joe didn't like calling them shmups. He wanted to call them shooters, but the other guy whose name I can't think of right now for some reason calls them shmups. But they had done one, Fantasy Zone, and they said the Famicom version of it was far better than the Tengen version that came out here in the United States. So I hopped on eBay. Fantasy Zone was pretty cheap, so I grabbed Fantasy Zone, and I have a Famicom converter in my Hogan's Alley on NES, which I have two Hogan's Alley. I have one with a converter, one without. So I figure I'll pop that converter out and check out Fantasy Zone because it's a pretty cool shoot 'em up, shmup, whatever you want to call them. Kind of like cute 'em up, basically, is what that really is. A cute shooter. So I got that off eBay. That's all I got off eBay this time. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I also got this at Goodwill. Another plug and play. It's a Pac-Man plug and play. I love these things just from a design standpoint. It's a very cool design. Made by Jack Specific, of course. So I got a lot of these things. I'm gonna have to do a video on all the ones I've got sometime. So that's cool. I love the old arcade-based ones, not like the newer Power Rangers and Star Wars, but I have some of those as well. But I really love the old arcade-based ones. Then I went to the flea market, and this is probably my best score, the best value score that I got this week. It's a PlayStation 2 game. I was just walking around, and there weren't many video games. It's still a little cold on Sunday when the flea market's open here. So I got there, it was about 30 degrees out. There weren't a lot of vendors, maybe 25 vendors there, when there's usually like well over 100 probably. So I'm looking around and I see these people that have a bunch of PlayStation 2 games. Well, you know, I'm always going to look at PlayStation 2 games. I kind of have a rule. It says $2 is about all I'm going to pay for PlayStation 2 games. So I walk in there, I'm looking around, and I spot something. I'm like, that can't be right. That can't be it. So I pulled it out and I was like, there's no price on it. How much could it be? And I see this sign that says, games are blank unless otherwise labeled. So I look over there and I grab the game and I go, hey, you know, this lady's sitting there. She's like, how much? I was like, how much is this? And she goes, all games are $3 if they're not labeled otherwise. So I look at it, I'm making sure it's not labeled. And it's not. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take that, $3. So I pay the $3 and I got Mr. Mosquito, which is a very uncommon PS2 game, very weird PS2 game. I'm shocked that it came out in the United States. It's unfortunately not complete. It's a former rental, so for a former rental, this disc is in crazy good shape though. It's the blue disc. I mean, you probably can't see, but this disc is in crazy good shape. Fantastic shape. Looks like it's from Family Video actually, but everybody knows the reason. Nobody probably rented this darn thing at Family Video because nobody knew what Mr. Mosquito was. But I tell you, it was really fantastic to find this. So I was very happy to find this. I guess it goes for about $20 on eBay, and I paid $3 for it. So I broke my $2 rule for this one, as I will for some of them. So pretty excited to get that for the PS2 collection, which is not a huge collection, but I buy them when I see them for about $2 because they're worth that. You know, even some of them are worth way more than that, like Rule of Rose and a couple of the other ones that are pretty rare out there, are really hard to find. But this is actually a pretty hard to find one, so I was really happy to get that one. I'm actually going to check that out because it's supposed to be super weird and crazy. Alright, next we go to my Facebook buy-sell trade. Oh, well, darn it. I forgot. I also got Minecraft for the Xbox One at Goodwill. That was $10, which is a good deal. My son saw it and grabbed it. He's only 5. He's my oldest. He's 5. And he saw it and grabbed it, and I figured I'd get it and we can play it together sometimes. I'm not a big Minecraft fan, but why not get it for the Xbox One for $10? You can't beat that price. Forgot I had that. And then on Facebook I saw somebody who said they had some Xbox games. They didn't have a picture of them, so I messaged them and I said, hey, what are the games? So she sent me a list of the games. It's just, she said she had a system. Well, I've got 3 Xbox systems already. I was like, well, I don't need the system, but how much would you take for all the games in the system? And she said 50, and I was like, I don't need that. There's a bunch of sports games. Like, I think there was 23 games total, but I think like 15 of them were sports games. So I picked up 5 that I wanted. She said she wanted $2 a piece, which is, again, my price point for disc-based games in the Xbox PS2 era. So $2 a piece, I'm always going to jump on it. And these, the disc, are not great, but I think most of the time I can get them to play. I really do. So here's what I got. Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. That one actually has the manual. Like I said, the disc is not great on any of these. They were well played, apparently, except for this one I'm about to show you. House of the Dead 3. The disc in this one is actually perfect shape. I'm not sure they ever actually played it, and that's also complete. Then this one, I may already have this one. I'll let you guys know if it's up for trade. But Evil Dead, Fistful of Boomstick. If you already have it, it'll be up for trade. Disc is in okay condition, but there's no manual. This one I was excited to get because I knew I went for it because I had a decent feeling it would be the Game of the Year edition, but it's Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. I have the original edition that I bought way back when it came out, and this one's actually got the expansions, which I never played, so I might get back into Morrowind at some point. Of course, I have to play the game through because I think I lost all my data on my Xbox, but very cool to get the Game of the Year edition. It's not complete. Disc is And then lastly, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, which is supposed to be not a great game, but not horribly bad. Just disc on that one, of course, too, in case. So that's what I got. I got those all for $10, which is a pretty decent deal for me. Alright, lastly, I was at Game Trader 2 on Sunday. He had like a barbecue, hot dogs, free hot dogs, chips, drinks, all that good stuff. So me and my older son, who likes the video games now, went there and hung out for a while, participated in some high score contests in which I was horrible and sucked at. But he's kind of clearing out some of his Japanese games, his Famicom and Super Famicom games. So I looked through, and most of them were just like leftover sports titles and horse racing titles and things like that. So I looked through them, and I just kind of grabbed the ones that weren't sports titles. So I ended up with Dragon Ball Z, which I'm not sure if this is the one that came out as Dragon Power here in the U.S. It may be, but I picked that one up. Then I picked up one, and I'm not going to be able to tell you. I have no idea what it actually is, but it's from Bandai, and it's got a cool little picture on it, if you guys can see that. So I picked it up. I figured it's not a sports game, but it's all in Japanese, so I won't know what it is until I look it up, and I didn't look it up. This is Peach Boy Legend, which is a pretty popular series in Japan. Apparently there's a couple of different Peach Boy games, I think on Super Famicom too, and I think I actually have a Super Famicom one too, but this is Hudson Soft, and I will almost buy anything made by Hudson Soft if it says Hudson Soft. So that's Hudson Soft. And Peach Boy Legend. Then I got another Dragon Ball game, Dragon Ball 3. Unfortunately, didn't see a Dragon Ball 2, so I got Dragon Ball 3. Alright, then I got 2 Super Famicom games. I believe this is Momotaro. I don't think this is going to be playable. I think it's like an RPG-ish type game, but as you can see, it's Hudson Soft. The Hudson B's right there on the cart, so I'm going to check it out. Pop it in my Super Famicom and check it out. And I believe this is a Peach Boy game as well. This is again from Hudson Soft, so I picked that up, and like I said, I grabbed most of the stuff that wasn't like sports or horse racing titles that he had, and so I figure I'd check those out. I'd like to grab the Japanese games. It's kind of a cool little collector's piece. You may hear my kids knocking on the door in the background. And lastly, I got this at Game Trader 2. Alex Souza from the St. Louis Retro Group has some of his stock there because he has a lot of extra stuff that he sells and gives. I guess it's like a consignment type deal. But he came in and he had a box of stuff he was restocking, so he was pricing it. And I saw he had MC Kids in there, so I grabbed MC Kids, and it's box manual The box is in kind of rough shape, but for the price I thought it was a decent price for it, and I didn't have it in my collection, so there's another NES game for me. Alright, so that's all I got this time. Hope you enjoyed all my new finds, and hopefully I'll have more for you not too long from now, but maybe not. I don't know. You never know, I guess. So thanks for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.